Before we can get started with this course, we actually need to install Node.js on our local development computer. And this process is actually exactly the same for all operation systems. So in this video, I will use Mac OS, but on Windows or Linux, it's really just the same. Now, installing other technologies, like the MongoDB database, works very differently on Windows. And so by then, I will have one video for Mac and one for Windows. Alright? Anyway, let's now go ahead and install Node.js. So in your web browser, head over to nodejs.org, and then on the website, you should see these two big green buttons here to download Node.js for your current operating system. So up here, you should see automatically selected the OS that you're currently running. And if not, you can just head over here to Downloads and then select your operation system from there. Okay? Then here, you can select which Node.js version you would like to install. So right now, the long-term support version is version 10. And so that's actually the one that I'm using in this course. But right now, the current version, so the newest one basically is 12. Okay? But Node just recommends for most users the long-term support version. And also, by the time I started recording this course, version 10 was actually the current one. And so therefore, in this course, we're using version 10. And so you can go ahead and download this version now as well. Alright? Now, if you're watching this video in the far future, then another version might already be here, the LTS version. So let's actually take a look here at the schedule. And so you see that they actually have a timeline here for all the versions in the future. So right now, version 10 is the active version. But if you like watching this video, for example, in 2021, well, then you should probably go with Node.js 14. Okay? Now, what's also important to note here is that you should only use the even version numbers for a production project. So that's 10, 11, 14, and so on and so forth. And in case you're worrying that I'm using an old version in this course, in case you're watching this in the far future, then let me tell you that Node actually doesn't change that much in terms of what we're going to do here in this course from one version to the other. Okay? So probably you will be perfectly fine by using Node 12 or Node 14, and everything will be working in the exact same way. Okay? And only in case you run in any problem, you can then go ahead and install Node 10 and see if your problem disappears by doing that. Okay? So again, don't worry all too much about outdated versions here. Alright? Anyway, let's now actually download this version 10 here so that I can take you here through the process. So once that arrives, just open it, and then as always, just click continue everywhere. You must agree, and then install it. Okay, and with this, you should now have Node.js installed on your local computer. Now just to test it, let's close the window here. Alright, and then open up your terminal. Okay, so I'm using Terminal app on Mac OS, and on Windows, you can use the command prompt or the PowerShell. Both work just fine. Okay, so in order to test if we have Node.js installed, just write node and then -v, which stands for version. Hit return, and so that should then give you the version number of your current installation. And in case you see an error here, then you should probably try to reinstall Node.js. Now, if you're taking this course, I'm assuming that you're already familiar with the basic use of the terminal or of the command line. So you should know basic commands like ls to take a look at all the files in the current directory. On Windows, that's actually dir, so which stands for directory, and again, that will give you a list of all the files or folders in the current location. Okay, so in the terminal, you're always in a location. In my case, I'm currently in the home folder, and then you can basically move around in your folder structure. For example, if I wanted to move to my desktop, I could use cd desktop, hit return, and now I'm in the desktop. Then I can go back with cd ... And so now I'm back here in this main folder. And actually, we don't need to know much more about the terminal or the command line, okay? So we won't use much more than what I just showed you in this 2 minutes. Great. So now that you have Node.js installed on your development computer, we are ready to move on. And so I hope to see you soon in the next video.